It's time for NuWellness TV with Dr. Lee. Join your host, the accomplished Dr. Cherilyn Lee, as she welcomes the leading experts in health and well-being as they explore the advancements in natural health, physical fitness, nutrition, integrative medicine, and self-discovery.
Welcome, everyone, to another wonderful show here with your host, Dr. Lee, and I'm just so grateful that you're tuning in today. Thank you so very much. I just want to say that I am grateful to still be alive. You know, there's so much happening in the world today, and so thank you. If you're listening, you're still alive, too, and you're still vertical. Praise God. So thank you so much for tuning in today. I have a wonderful guest, and we're going to talk about some wonderful healing powers as it relates to whole person healing with ice. Dr. Har Hari, I mean, you are an amazing doctor, and I just want to thank you so much for being a guest today, Dr.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So we're going to kind of jump in. We sent your bio out, and I know everybody, so many people know you. Every time I go somewhere with you, everybody just stop you. I mean, you're like a big celebrity doctor as well. So I'm just grateful to have you here and to take the time out of your busy schedule to be a guest today.
Yeah, no problem.
And the information we're going to share with you is something that you don't have to go buy one of those big expensive machines. Dr. Har Hari is going to show you exactly what you could do actually at home yourself. And it's just truly amazing. And you talk about ladies and men, anti-aging, this is it. Okay? And you want energy, this is it. Okay, so we're going to kind of jump right in. Dr. Har Hari, why don't you tell people a little bit more about who you are?
Well, I'm a chiropractor. I've been practicing holistic chiropractic for 30 years in West LA. I'm also a yogi. I studied yoga with Yogi Bhajan, who is a master from India, for about 25 years.
Okay.
And so I have a pretty strong background in yoga. And,
Yes.
And one of the, I don't know if people know, the way yoga is taught in the West here, people don't really understand some of the deeper practices.
Yes.
And actually the number one most powerful practice in yoga is called Ishnan.
Okay.
Ishnan is cold water therapy.
Cold water therapy.
So
okay.
It's been known for thousands of years. It's not a new science at all. It's just recently with Wim Hof, it's been validated through research to be highly effective for self-healing.
Yes.
When I learned it from Yogi Bhajan, we took cold showers. We did it with cold showers, but Wim Hof has kind of upped the ante by doing cold immersion, full body immersion in frozen water. But basically, according to yogic teachings, Ishnan, cold water therapy, is the most powerful therapy on the planet for healing.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
We know what, not cutting you off, we've heard of using ice packs for inflammation, so we know what it does for inflammation.
Yep.
Just imagine your entire body for rejuvenation, inflammation, and restoring those endorphins. People look younger, you feel happier, you sleep better at night. There's so many benefits to this. And you have added the breathing techniques to this, which is, I feel, is a big plus, because most of the places that are doing cryotherapy or cold water therapy or ice full body therapy, they're not talking about the breathing. No one is talking about the breathing. So we're going to be sharing a lot of things with you that you'll be able to do in your home. So, grab your pen and paper, because you might want to take some notes here. Yeah. And share. Please share this show with your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Especially the ones that look like they're aging fast.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
The ones that are in pain.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are suffering from so much chronic pain that you really don't have to suffer like that.
Yeah, it's amazing. In my own personal case, I had chronic pain from an injury, and it was pretty bad. Like I was, considering surgery even. It was that bad. And I just made a decision. I'm going to do this ice bath.
Yes.
And I did it. I started doing it, and it took me maybe 2 months, I'd say, and pain is gone. Totally gone.
Wow. Now tell me how you set up an ice bath in your own home.
Well, it's an interesting story of how this all evolved. It originally started with a horse trough that a friend of mine had, and he got an ice machine and he made ice and put the ice in the horse trough. And it was a lot of work because we had to, make the ice and clean it out every time. And so finally somebody figured out, hey, what if we use a chest freezer, and just fill it with water and freeze the water?
Okay.
And so we started. My friend was the patient, told me, and I said, okay, I'm doing it. So I did it. A few of my friends did it. Unbelievable.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you use a chest freezer, the old.
Yeah, you get like a 10 to 15 foot cubic foot chest freezer that's horizontal, and you fill it up with water.
And you take the door off.
No, you just open the door.
You open the door.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
don't
close
take
it when you freeze, because you have to keep it closed to freeze the water.
Okay.
So I run mine like half the day. I run it during the day, turn it off at night. So when I get up in the morning, it's nice frozen, a lot of ice in the water.
My goodness. And I know you measured it. So what was the temperature?
It's 32.
32 degrees
Yeah.
below?
No, just 32 degrees. That's
32
it.
degrees.
That's freezing. That's
It's
freezing.
Freezing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen pictures of you. I haven't been there yet, but I am going to try it. And I'm sure Jarvis is going to be trying it also. Aren't you, Jarvis? You're going to be bold to come try it as well. So we're going to definitely be trying this. We have many, many associates who actually introduced me to you.
Yeah.
Wonderful Diane. So I just want to thank her. I know she's watching, so thank you, my dear. I really thank you for saying great guest. But we had many great conversations since then. So it's been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And coming up with more and more ways how we can help heal people. And you're doing amazing things that we're going to be utilizing as well at our practice. And, I'm just so happy to come on board as part of the team.
Yeah.
Because, my number one prayer is for people to heal.
Yeah.
It's for people to heal. And it shouldn't cost a lot of money.
Yeah. I mean, with this method, literally, my ice chest cost me $250. I bought it on Craigslist. I just bought another one for my daughter for $125.
Wow.
So they're not expensive. The big thing is just plugging them in and,
Yeah, but you got to be able to fit in there.
Yeah, you need one that's at least 12 to 15 cubic feet.
Depending on your size.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's real simple to do. And, ultimately what we're doing is going to have a center where people can come. If they don't have a yard or a place to put it, we're going to have a center here in LA. In fact, I'm in negotiations right now with Wim Hof to start the first Wim Hof endorsed center. It's going to have his
Tell us about Wim Hof.
Okay.
Yeah, tell us about Wim Hof.
Okay, Wim is he's like he's from Netherlands. He's kind of a daredevil like stuntman. He holds 26 world records, mostly doing feats in ice, like being immersed in ice for 2 hours.
Just a feat?
No, full body immersion for 2 hours. Yeah, most people would probably succumb within 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure I would be one of them.
But anyway, he's he also hiked Mount Everest in a pair of shorts through a blizzard.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so he can tolerate.
Yeah, he's well cold adapted. He ran marathons in the Arctic in the midwinter, hanging by one finger in the midwinter between two balloons over a kilometer high, just hanging by one finger.
Oh my goodness.
He's a kind of a daredevil. But what he did, though, which was why I'm really believe in this guy, is that he trains other people to do what he does. Through the breath and through the cold exposure. He's already scientifically documented that people can learn what he does and control their autonomic immune system and hormonal system, which is a huge thing. So basically what he's clinically shown is we can resist disease. Like he basically they basically injected endotoxin into all 12 of his subjects who were trained. It took 4 days to train them. None of them had any reaction to the endotoxin. The other group, the control group.
Now explain endotoxin so our viewer and audience will kind of know.
Endotoxin is like a very potent bacterial infection that will cause extreme vomiting, diarrhea, chills, fever, like flu symptoms immediately on contact once you inject it
And
into
a lot
the
of
blood.
these endotoxins can kill you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so these people who were trained had no reaction at all. So that was basically, they were able to show that we're able to control our immune system and our autonomic nervous system and our hormonal system
Definitely hormonal.
to basically resist most or if not all disease. And there's been thousands of people who've used this technique already who reversed autoimmune disease,
My
which
goodness.
is huge. And that's
Yes.
without medicine. It's just using the breath and cold water.
Now,
That's
can you,
it.
can you give us a demonstration of the breath a little bit here?
Yeah, it's real easy. It's
Okay.
just the basic breath, it's a deep inhale, and then you just let the breath go. So it's like, and then let it go. And inhale deep, let it go. Inhale deep, let it go. So we do that about 30 rounds.
Okay.
And
you
then
don't get lightheaded or
you
dizzy?
get very lightheaded and very dizzy. You have to
Okay.
do it either sitting in a couch or laying down.
Good.
You can totally pass out doing this breath. It's almost like you're hypoventilating, but not quite. And what happens is you're oxygenating your body up to 100%. And so all your tissues get completely oxygenated. And then what you do at the end of the cycle is you inhale, you let the breath go and hold it out, and you hold as long as you can. Okay. And what that does is it puts you into what's called hypoxia, or they call it intermittent hypoxia. And that's where all the healing benefits come from, because it stimulates the glandular system, the immune system, the autonomic nervous system gets stimulated when you hold your breath out. And it causes a shift in the deepest centers of the brain. So you actually get access to the deepest parts of your brain doing this breath.
Just 30 minutes.
30
30
rounds.
breaths, 30
And then you
breaths.
hold it, and then you inhale deep, and then you squeeze your body really tight, your abdomen, your chest, your neck, your head. And for about 20 seconds, you're squeezing all that blood up into your head. And then you exhale, and then you repeat it. So we do that usually around 3 to 5 times. And then you either can get in the cold at that point, because that breath, what it does is it helps you resist the cold. So that's the
I'm
pre-breath.
glad those some
Yeah.
forewarnings. That's really good.
Yeah, that gets your body prepped so that you can get in the cold and not get sick. Sometimes people who do this cold, if they're not prepared, they can get sick.
Yeah.
Because if you're at the edge of, your immune's down a little, you can get sick. But if you do the breathing, then you won't get sick. And so it's very important to people to understand you shouldn't just jump into cold water unprepared. You
Yes,
definitely
I like
need
that. Okay.
training. It's very serious therapy. People can die if you don't do it right. So
Yes.
you need to know what you're doing, and you need a coach. You should
Yes.
never do this on your own, unassisted, until you've got it, and then
Yeah.
you can.
Right.
And that's
right.
our goal, is to create a Wim Hof center where people can come and get the coaching, and then they can come to the center or do it at home, however they want.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's good to know that. So that's the 30 breaths complete.
Yeah.
And you're not breathing through the nostrils at all.
It's through the mouth.
It's all through the
Because
mouth.
you're trying to maximize the amount of oxygen into your tissues. The other thing that happens is after 20 minutes of this type of breathing, your body becomes completely alkaline. Okay, and you probably know. And
High five me there, the
Yes.
alkaline. So you have to
Yes.
go drink a whole lot of alkaline water.
Right. So if you don't
Okay.
have access to alkaline water, you can alkalize your body just with this breath,
Oh,
which is
that's very powerful.
really good information to
That's
know.
very powerful.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say let's do it again, but we don't want to sit here and
Yeah. Well, we
pass
can do
out
it.
while we
If
do
you
the
want,
show.
what we can do is later in the show we can do a full round, so you guys can totally experience what the breath is.
Yeah, but I don't want to pass out.
Yeah,
No, I'm just
that's
kidding.
true. You won't pass out.
No, I won't
Yeah.
pass out.
You'll get
because-
really high though. You get very high when you do this breathing. It gets you connected with the deepest part of your psyche. And that's another thing that we're getting all these physical healing effects, but on the deepest level,
Yes.
it's also giving us access to all of our childhood trauma. And because when you get into that very deep state where you're connecting in with your autonomic nervous system,
Yes.
you have access to trauma that's stored in your body. And so this breathing allows you to access it and then release it, which is very, very powerful.
I like that. I think what I'm going to do is incorporate that with, I have a beamer in my office.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm going to incorporate that with the beamer
Yes.
prior to getting on, and then they now get the circulation, microcirculation with the beamer.
Yeah.
I think that would be very powerful.
Oh, yeah. That would amp the
Yeah.
effects quite a bit.
And while they're drinking water as well,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
don't have to do alkaline water,
Yeah.
because we use a different type of water as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Cool.
this is really, that's some really great, powerful information.
Yeah.
Now, 8 children. Can children, do they do the less of the breath for children, or how is it done for children? And at what age would you?
Well, you know,
recommend
the
it?
remarkable thing is interesting you're bringing that up because, you know, in Russia, they take little toddlers, you know, it gets cold in Russia.
Yes.
And they take them, they put them in a sauna, you know, get them warm, and they go outside in sub-zero weather and they roll around in the snow. You know, and
okay.
and you know, so it's already a cultural thing in the, you know, those northern countries to learn cold adaptation at a young age. And also the Native Americans from this country, they were doing that with their little babies. They'd throw them out in the snow. Hey, get in the snow, you know, because it got them cold adapted. You know,
Right.
Well, you know, when they had the first Thanksgiving, I don't know if you ever seen the pictures. You know, the Indians are all standing there in their little,
Yeah.
you know, little skins with
Yes.
nothing on, and you know, the pilgrims are all like, you know, they got their heavy coats and stuff. And,
Yeah, the animal fur.
and, you know, the Indians were cold adapted. They don't need, you know, they
Yeah.
didn't need clothes.
And you know, and didn't their skin look vibrant and healthy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that it's a great anti-aging. So I like to take a bowl of water with ice and just submerge my face in it.
Oh yeah.
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 And in doing that, that's the best quick anti-aging
Oh yeah.
for the face. So people kept saying, "What is your secret? What is your secret for being
Yeah.
60 plus and
And
not
looking
having
like 20 plus.
yeah, and not having all these wrinkles?" Well, that's kind of one I like. I don't do it every day because I don't remember to do it every day, and rushing around.
Yeah.
But it's really great to kind of hold your face. You know, hold your breath. Quite
Yeah.
naturally, do hold your breath.
Yeah.
And a bowl.
You could do it with a
really
snorkel. You stick
Yeah.
a snorkel on, you can stay
know,
in there like
longer. Okay, I'll try that. I'll buy one. Try it. But I know it's great. But when you finish your face, and it's just so invigorated, and it
Oh,
looks
yeah.
healthy, and you got a better flow
Yeah.
of blood to the area because you have now caused vasoconstriction.
Yeah, and you're also affecting your trigeminal nerve, which there's a reflex that gets stimulated when you do that. And it's like, I think it's called a breath holding reflex or something. It's babies have it. You know, when they're born in water, the coldness of the water will cause them just to hold their breath, just automatically without any. It's an innate thing
innate,
that we have. Yeah, when you do it full body, my personal experience, I literally feel 20 or 30 years younger.
Yes.
I've been doing it daily now since last January, which is about 9 months. And I have to say, I mean, I literally feel like I'm in my 20s.
Your skin is just glowing. It just glows, and I have been with you late at night talking.
Yeah.
You know, and everything, and you're just full of energy and so vibrant. The most important, you're just so calm.
Yeah.
You have a very calm nature as well.
Yeah, that's from all the meditation.
Yeah, the
But
meditation will
the
do that.
deepest, you know, what I'm really finding is getting into cold and resisting that cold. It's a meditation. It's a
Yes.
meditation in
Yes.
itself because you're overcoming fear, anxiety, worry, the things that mess people up, all the negative emotions. You can't have that if you're going to sit in that cold water.
You know, that's
cannot
really
have
good.
it. Most people, the only thing you can do in the water is laugh or cry, not anything else. Just laugh or cry. There's no other emotion.
You're going to cry some icicles.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because the endorphins and the studies show that cold water increases norepinephrine in the brain, which is a very powerful mood enhancer. It helps with focus. It helps with ADD. You know, it rejuvenates the brain.
Yes.
So, you know, in the studies with mice, they did studies with mice that they bred these mice to have Alzheimer's at a young age. Okay. And so what they did is they started putting them in ice water, right, to see what would happen through the lifespan of these mice. They did not get the Alzheimer's. It prevented it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So this is just another benefit of doing the ice is like,
That's
you know,
a powerful benefit because so
Yeah.
many people I've worked with and people listening right now, I'm sure you have a loved one or know someone. Please share this show with them. And you and I are gonna set up a workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna set up a workshop and kind of show some other techniques, and because my prayers, no one should have to suffer.
Yeah.
And it's simple things like breathing correctly.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that can help you. And can you imagine doing the 30 breath and what that's going to do for you and put you in an alkaline state?
Yeah. It gets rid of, what I noticed is when I do the breath in the morning, and the thing is, you don't even have to get out of bed. I just do it laying in bed. Mm-hmm. It activates and rejuvenates your brain. You can literally feel your brain come online, fully filled with oxygen, like you've never felt your brain before. And I've been a yogi for 37 years. This breath that Wim developed, it was very interesting. He developed it out of the innate understanding of how cold affected him. So it wasn't something he read in a book. He figured this out because he felt when he breathed like that it helped him resist the cold.
Okay.
And so it just became part of his practice, and it was nature training him, not an outside person or guru or yogi or even an ancient text. It was all based on self-experience, being in the cold.
And that's where a lot comes in, self-experience, and then being able to pass that on and share that with other time. I
would say 2 minutes is pretty safe for most people. Mm-hmm. But again, it depends on the health of the person, but an average person, I think 2 minutes is safe. And then you can gradually add a minute every few days, yeah.
And we're not saying this for people who have a lot of candida or cancer as a way of treatment, but because we do know that people, when they have different forms of cancer, or I just like to say abnormal cells, and not use so much the C word, but we want to keep the body in an alkaline state.
Yeah.
So this would be great. So for people who have abnormal cells.
Oh, yeah. It's fantastic. Wim, there was one guy who had a 4-stage situation, incurable, prognosis was 0 chance of recovery, 0. And he studied with Wim, and he did the technique, and 3 years later, he's hiking Mount Everest. He was completely cured, so... Yeah. There's definitely, it took a monumental effort and will, but he actually overcame his disease by the breath and the cold.
Oh my goodness.
But again, thousands of people who've learned it have turned arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, chronic debilitating diseases. Wim has trained these people, and he's actually taken groups of people with debilitating diseases and trained them in the breathing and hiked up Mount Kilimanjaro in bathing suits in record time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's amazing.
I'm not going to say I'm going to try that, but maybe one day. Maybe one day. Yes.
It just shows you the potential that we have, that we have denied ourselves because we've been lied to. That we need to go to a doctor to get a drug or do a surgery or whatever, when we have the power to heal ourselves.
We can say, why cut when you can use? I had a little saying. I had heard it earlier today. Why do surgery when you can use ice?
Exactly.
Why do the surgery? So
I have an amazing story about surgery and ice. I had a patient come in, and her father had dozens of blood clots in his lungs, and he was going to die. He was not going to live.
Okay.
And he went to this pretty revolutionary medical doctor who, what they did was actually freeze him. They suspended his life force. They froze him, just like they do in like sci-fi movies, for, like aliens and stuff. Uh-huh. They froze him. And so, and they would go in, they remove as many clots as they could, because I think there's a time limit where you can freeze a body, like 20 minutes, and then they'd unfreeze him, you come back to life, and they do it, and then they revive him, give him a little oxygen, and then go back, freeze him again, pull out more, and that went on for 8 hours, where they froze him and thawed him out, and he lived for another 25 years.
Oh my God! Without taking the anticoagulant medications.
Right. Well, they got
Most.
the clots out of us. They surgically had to remove them.
Yes. Oh my
And
goodness.
so it was quite a thing. But the point being is the ice really kind of saved the guy, you know, so because they couldn't have done that surgery otherwise. So
Oh, amazing.
yeah.
And also too, I actually have a dear friend who have a car. It's the Tesla SUV with the wing that comes up. Well, when I got out the front seat, my shoulder hit the wing of the car, and actually it felt like I had a torn rotator cuff.
Whoa.
I mean, I couldn't lift my arm. I was in such pain. So I didn't submerge my whole body at the time, but I did just ice. I iced it, took a couple of anti-inflammatory products, and I knew I had to rest because my schedule is I'm on the go a lot.
Yeah.
And you know, for a day and a half, I couldn't raise my arm. I couldn't raise my arm to comb my hair or anything. And after the icing it and everything, and we do know ice work, and using the anti-inflammatory, my arm has been fine ever since.
Yeah.
No pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
So and also let's talk about how this works for weight loss.
Well, when you do consistent ice therapy, the one of the key things that's happening in your whole body is called mitochondrial biogenesis, which means the mitochondria are growing and they're doubling in number. So you increase what's called brown fat, which is a higher metabolizing cell than the regular fat.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's actually burning fat all the time. It's using the other fat and burning it up. And so when you do the ice therapy, you're upping your metabolism, so you don't have to worry so much about your diet and what you're eating and you know. I eat whatever I want, whenever I want, you know. I eat a pretty good diet, but, you know, I don't worry about my weight. I don't even exercise. The only thing I do is I get in the cold every day. And, you know, Wim, you know, when
you're burning calories.
Yeah, a lot of calories.
Yeah, I was it 500 or so per so many minutes. It's
yeah,
maybe more than that.
Yeah, it's probably they say ice immersion is equivalent to going to the gym. You know, because what happens is this is the interesting part. The ice doesn't stop when you get out. It keeps going. So for about an hour, I'm having to do some pretty intense Kundalini yoga to reheat my body.
Yes.
So that's actually where the hardest part is the getting out part. Because you're fine. You actually feel numb when you first get out of the water. You don't even feel your body. You're like, oh, I feel fine. And then 10 minutes later, oh my God. It's like every cell of your body is like shivering, you know?
Yes.
And then you got to start doing yoga. I usually like to get in the sun, but if there's not enough sun, I'll go and sit in front of a heater and do yoga for about a half hour to reheat my body.
Okay. And you do the same breathing technique before and after?
Yeah. Well, I'll do usually after I'm doing some intense yoga. Like I'll sit and I'll just you know, like stuff like that, you know, twisting and just turning and just moving.
Yeah, moving the body.
Wim has this thing where he goes like this. I don't know if we can go, but he goes like this. It's like, whoo, ha, whoo, ha, whoo, ha, whoo. You know, so you're getting very primal with your energy, and that actually helps with the the heat. It helps bring the heat back. You got to get like almost like your animalistic energy going to move the energy because you're cold.
Yeah.
You know?
Not just jumping jacks or something.
Yeah, jumping jack that could work too, but
you
you'd be like move. It'd be like it intensifies whatever you're doing like 10 times.
Yeah.
You can't be lazy because your body is so cold. You need to get heat going.
Right.
So that to me, that's actually the beautiful part. I love that part because it just feels like so invigorating to like really move your body.
And I kind of looked over some things with research also with autoimmune disorders.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially. So have you worked with anyone with autoimmune with the ice therapy?
I haven't personally, but I know Wim he's done podcasts with people that had severe Crohn's.
Okay.
And it totally helped their symptoms.
Okay.
I mean, I know that, he's worked with people with rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's.
What about lupus?
Yeah. I mean, literally thousands of people.
Okay.
I mean, Wim is literally, he's world, he travels all over the world and does lectures.
Right.
And,
Can't wait to meet him.
Yeah. Well, he's going to come here. I just talked to his son in Netherlands this morning,
Okay.
and they're really excited to work with us to set up the first Wim Hof Center in this country.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm so happy to be part of this team. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
yeah.
Then we'll bring him on the show as well
Oh my God.
and have you back again.
That'll be so exciting.
Yes, it really would. And, I mean, just amazing. Something as simple as ice therapy.
Yeah.
You know, I know people are having the cryo machines
Yeah.
and doing a lot of this, but it's also good for the skin. So people who have eczema or psoriasis.
I had eczema on
Mhm.
my leg.
Mhm.
I had like one spot, completely healed. I mean, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm living proof of it.
Wow.
You know, and I also had chronic pain. Like I said in the beginning of the show, I had a hip injury and my whole leg was in pain. And I'm a chiropractor, so I had access to some of the best therapies, healers there are in Los Angeles, which is a lot. And I never really had 100% relief. It was 3 years in pain.
Mhm.
And when I started doing the ice baths, there was one bath where I was sitting in there and I could feel the meridian in the center of my leg, in the bone itself, open up an energy, like literally like an acupuncture meridian,
Mhm.
all the way down my leg. After I got out of that bath, I never had leg pain again.
Oh my
So
goodness.
the cold is like 1,000 times stronger than acupuncture because it's pushing right into the bone, opening the meridians.
Yes.
So there's very powerful healing
And
that
this
happens.
is better than taking opiates and pain medication.
Much
Because-
better.
Because you're dealing with the endorphins as it is.
Yeah.
So naturally.
Yeah, you're getting a natural flood of your own endorphins, which
Mhm.
are the healthiest kind you can get.
Exactly.
When I do this, I pretty much feel good all day long, which is in LA, it's not easy. That's why people are doing things like that because the stress levels and the traffic. And I made a decision like a year ago. I said, if I'm going to stay here in Los Angeles, I got to figure out how to get cold because it is too hot here, number one. And it's just, there's no relief. We're constantly getting bombarded with oxidants, pollution, heat. We're being overheated.
Yeah, and the
So,
radiation in the air.
So getting in the cold is the perfect antidote for all the heat that we're experiencing, and when I finally figured that out, how to do it with myself, I was like, oh my God, I can stay here in LA and still be a happy, healthy person.
Because your skin look amazing. Yeah.
Yeah. And not only am I healthy, I'm young. I feel younger than I did. I feel like I'm in my 20s and I'm 57.
You look great.
Yeah, I mean, I do a lot of superfoods, and I eat at
Yeah.
Erewhon. Put shout out to Erewhon,
Yeah.
organic salads.
That's where we meet
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have the best. Erewhon is so good. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, when you said you eat, I know where you eat, so because that's where we meet all the time.
Yeah. It's
food
a whole
is
it's a whole community. The people who go to Erewhon, you pretty much know that they're very much into their health.
It was so funny the first time we met because I'm all the way in West LA.
Yeah.
Forgot that there's one even closer to my office there on Venice Boulevard. I mean, oh my goodness, it's really nice.
Yeah.
And the good thing about it, it's open till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So it's those of you wanting something kind of really light, at 10 o'clock at night, just head on over
Yeah,
there.
and you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Everything's organic in the whole
Instead
store.
of heading somewhere
Yeah.
having, cheesecake and
Yeah, right.
those things. You want something really wholesome and natural.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we could do certain things in moderation.
Yeah.
Like once a year.
Yeah, sure.
Moderation. But, we're not ready really to close out the show. But what I'd like for you to do to kind of look into the eyes of the camera like you're looking at a client, and from a space within yourself, what do you want them to kind of walk away with and to know and if they were like sitting there, audience was in front of you right now, what would you want them to take away?
Well, you have the ability yourself to be happy, healthy, and strong through your own breath and through learning how to work with cold. It's that simple. Happy, healthy, strong.
Yes, with a coach.
With a coach, learn it, practice it, and get healthy, happy, and strong.
Yeah, and
That's
with
simple.
children, that's really great.
Yeah.
So you train the parents so they can be there with the children.
Yeah. And kids love it. Are you kidding? I got my kids. They're all into it now. They're a little older, but they two of my kids moved to Colorado because they love the cold anyway. And then my other daughter, I just got her a freezer so she can do it. But she's been complaining because she did this sport called kabaddi, which is almost like rugby, but there's no ball involved. But it's an Indian sport. It's a very ancient sport in India. And my kids all went to school there. Okay. And she actually was on the U.S. national team. It's an international sport, right? So she went to India a few years ago and did the kabaddi competition. But some of the girls that they're facing are military, police, big women. Wow. And she's a skinny thing, my daughter, and like a twig. And she went in there and fought with these women, and she got nailed hard and had a rib injury. Oh, my goodness. And this was like 3-4 years ago now, and she still has pain. And I said, okay, this is enough. She's going to die. I said, okay, we got to get some ice here. We got to get you in the ice bath. So that's what I did. So we're going to see how that works. Maybe the next show we'll share you the results. Oh, wonderful. But she's been suffering. Yeah, she's been suffering for like a few years now. Okay. And it's been bad, like serious pain. So
is there anyone who should not do this? Like maybe a COPD, respiratory disorders? Is there anyone who that's just an example, but is there any contraindications with people with any conditions?
Well, that's why the coach comes in handy, because I guess I really think anybody can do it at the level they're at. So, it may not be you can get into ice water, but you can take a cold shower, or you can put your feet or your hands into ice. That's part of the training is just exposing, like you said, like your face. There's different ways to do it where you're still getting the benefit. So literally almost anybody's a candidate as long as they're being coached by somebody who can, accommodate for where they're at.
Yeah, someone like yourself. Yeah. So do you train people also to become a coach? Do you do the training?
Well, that's what we're going to be doing at the Wim Hof Center. We're going to train trainers and license them to start centers all over the country. That's our plan. So pretty excited about that.
Oh gosh, this is going to be wonderful. Yeah. And people, less medication, less debilitating time to take off and stay home from work. So this is wonderful.
And it's really a lifestyle too, because once you experience the power that you have to create your own health, happiness, and strength, there's nothing else you need. You don't need stuff from the outside. It's just, you create it.
Create the happiness. Yeah. Create the joy. Yeah. Yes. Okay. This has been great, and you've had so much wonderful. I don't think we're going to go to the 30 breaths again, but just show me again the ending of holding your breath.
So you inhale deep, and then you let the breath go all the way out, and you're holding it out. That's it. Don't breathe. We'll time it.
You just tuned in. We are live.
And then you can inhale real deep. Squeeze your navel, your chest, your neck, your head. You're squeezing the blood up into your brain. And let it go. Yeah, that's
that really feels good.
And that was just one little.
I could feel it all in my shoulder, and the tension just relieving.
Yeah, and that's just one little. Imagine doing that for 20 minutes. It alters you.
Right. Yeah. So that felt great. Yeah. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Yeah. So we are going to be bringing you back on again.
Awesome.
I just want to have an acknowledgement of a dear friend. Actually a patient who was in town for a treatment, what I do at NuWellness Healthcare. And she's been a patient in the past before she moved out of state. And I was so happy she was able to come into California. And she just showed up arrived last night at LAX.
Wow.
And with her very first treatment, actually, she's going to share a little of her own testimony.
Awesome.
So I just want to thank you so much. Thank you, Elizabeth Ashley, for being with me today. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. It's definitely an honor to be here to share this panel with you. It was a surprise to me, but I'm willing to, just
It was a surprise. I just asked you this morning.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, just to say what I feel right now is totally amazing. I feel 100% better. I was very, very weak coming to see you yesterday. I actually thought I was going to have to call 911, but I made it to you. And when I finished working with, when you finished working with me, I felt amazing.
yes.
Yeah, I couldn't even walk the flight of stairs, 3 flights of stairs, let alone one. So I went to the elevator. And today I walked 3 flights of stairs up today.
Yes. And you look
Yes.
so vibrant as well.
Yes.
And, you know, you had a treatment with me, and most people know that I specialize in some IV nutrition along with the wonderful Beamer and some other things we do and nutritional.
Yeah.
But without going through, we're not going to discuss what your diagnosis is, but I love for you to just say from taking this wonderful product when you were out of town, we're not going to even mention the product right now, just your experience from then, because you had some things going on where you were in excruciating pain.
Yes. I don't even have words right now. I'm so grateful for the products that you sent me. And I can tell you the first dosage, not even an hour, it worked. I saw a difference. It had been months of me going through this certain situation. And within the hour, I saw a difference.
Yes.
I saw a difference. And that gave me hope. And I said, you know what? If it gives me this much for this within an hour, surely God can do the rest. And I just put my trust and faith in the Lord and said, God, here I am, you know, and I'm going to listen to what Dr. Lee has to say. And, you know, I was listening to my doctors, other doctors also, but it was good.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
So, you know, we have
Yeah.
people listening to the show, and
Yeah.
I've had several people on who have told in depth their testimony. They were not my patient.
Yeah.
But it was just really amazing what you go through. And we just had one treatment last night and one this morning. I'm telling you, you just look amazing.
Thank you.
So in telling the listening audience, what would you share with them? Because you was given some devastating news. So what would you share with my listening audience?
First thing is that you should hold on to what you feel inside. If God has given you that intuition feeling that there's more, there's got to be more. And my spirit wasn't easy with it. Knowing what I've learned from you over the years, I already know that there's always something better. And I just went with my instincts, and I just trusted and believed in God, and I did some research on my own. And then I reached out to you, and I saw the difference of the things that you were having me to do. And every day I was getting stronger, and it was getting better and better. So now...
So strong that you were able to get on the plane and fly here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, you're going to have to stand alone. You know, my children was like, Mom, but you know what? We're going to ride this one out, or you're going to get off my team. I need you on my team. You definitely got to have a strong team.
Yes.
You got to have a strong team. You definitely got to believe in, you know, what you're doing, and knowing that God is the ultimate healer behind everything.
Most definitely.
And I recommend that you guys call my doctor. Call her.
Thank you.
And come see her. And I love you, Dr. Lee. I thank you so much. And this is just the beginning.
Yes, it is.
Just the beginning.
And I always tell people the reason why we have the results we have on many levels is because number one, I put God first, because He is a true healer. We put God first in our practice, and we see the results. We sit back and watch the results.
Yes.
So I just want to thank you so much on the spur of the moment.
Yes.
You know, after your treatment today, come go with me and be on the show. And I'm so glad that you were obedient to do just that. So I just thank you so much.
It is totally an honor.
Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. God bless you.
And I want to thank my guest again, Dr. Har Hari. And you are just amazing. Just amazing. And the information you were able to share with the guests today, it's just been, I know a lot of people are saying they're gonna call you. They're gonna come and bombard your house.
It's okay. Hey, we want to do a big party back there. So
yeah, big party. your backyard is, from looking at the pictures, I haven't been back there yet, is look amazing.
It's nice. It's West Hollywood. It's very chill. It's nice. Yeah.
And so when the sun is out, I'm going to come.
Oh, my God. It's so
I'll
nice.
come when the sun is out, because after I get out this freezer now, I got to get some sun.
If you do it right, if you plan it right, you get in the sun, you get in the water, you get out, you never get the chills. Wow. If you do it right, you got to hit the sun the right time.
That's why I have you to train me the proper way to do this, because I do not want to get the chills.
Yeah.
If I had known this and I was out of town in an air-conditioned place, if I had known to do the breathing, I probably would not have a little
You could also do that, where you move your energy.
I wouldn't if I had known that. So even for, when people are in cold places, just to keep moving, is number one. The breathing to keep the body alkaline is so important.
That's the key. That's one of the keys.
And do this sitting down. So you
or laying. I usually do it laying flat on my bed, so there's no possibility of me passing out.
Yes, indeed. So, this is a good way to start your morning. Start your morning. What's the name of the breathing exercise again?
It's Wim Hof method.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
you can look at it. It's on YouTube. It's free. Anybody can learn it. There's a lot of different YouTube sites that teach it, where you can, pace yourself, and it's real easy to learn. It's just a matter of commitment and doing it. That's it.
So let's everybody take a pledge and say, I'm going to start this method starting today, September 20th. Let's start this method today, and text me and let me know in 30 days how you feel from just doing the breathing method. I think that's so powerful.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. That's absolutely wonderful. And again, I thank you very much for being a guest on NuWellness TV with Dr. Lee. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as I always close out my show, everybody repeat after me. I am so grateful.
So grateful
that I am a magnet.
A magnet
For miracles.
For miracles.
Why cut when you can ice? Okay.
Yay.
Be blessed, everyone.
Join us every Wednesday live at 11 a.m. for NuWellness TV with Dr. Lee. Remember, healthy mind, healthy body.